as I was saying earlier, that little mark there, I'm supposed to add a 5cm piece of vinyl tubing to. Now, as you can see, there's no way is vinyl tubing going to glue to that. So what's happened, somewhere down the line there's been a little lug on there, sort of about standing off about that much for it to join the tubing to. It's broke off, so what I'm going to have to do is I'll drill that, and then I am going to put a pin in. I'm going to make it metal. It's going to be a metal pin because I've got a feeling if I do try to glue plastic on there, it's going to be brittle. It's just going to melt or break or snap. So I'll drill that, put a pin in, and then I'll glue the tubing to the pin. Okay, so first things first, let's try and get a sinkhole in with this, so as the drill bit doesn't slip all over the spot. That should do. Put that drill bit on. It's taking some getting through. So that's it in. Give you a look at that. And now what I need to do is just put a drop of glue on it at the base there, just to keep it in, and that should do it. So now I need 5cm of pipe. Put a little dab of glue on the needle. That is that. Okay, so now I am going to have to start painting some black parts. So first off, I need the frame. Next parts are these parts. I think they're part of the, is it the swing arm that the back wheel goes onto? And they get painted Tamiya black X1. So they're the only parts I'm going to spray paint. There are some other parts for this colour, but I'll be brush painting them. So that's X1. Put the small parts in there and the big parts to one side. And the next colour black is going to be semi-gloss black, and they're going to do the wheels. Off this one, the wheels and the seat. And there's the seat. Not much rubbing down on any of these parts. The next parts are the front forks, which is you do the bottom bits and that triangular bit there. Lots of semi-gloss black parts on this model. Then we have the chain guard. That comes with the chain and the sprocket, but that part of the guard needs semi-black as well. Then the components for the back mudguard assembly. Some of these parts I won't be using for quite a while, but I'll try and get them all painted, mixed up with the same colour, so I don't have to keep doing it. And like I say, there's quite a few parts as well that need to be painted by hand, so I'll just put them in there as well, and I will go away and check to make sure that there's no more black parts need done. Semi-gloss, so that's that, semi-gloss black. Some of them's going to be painted black X1, which is, like I say, that colour there, but most of them, a lot of the parts on this bike are getting painted in Tamiya semi-gloss X18. Okay, so let's get them rubbed down, sanded off, masked up, and then painted. So really impressed with this, because there's not much of it needs rubbed down. There was a couple of moulding lines, and then basically that was fine. There's a couple of sort of like little marks on the moulding lines where they've moulded the round bits of the frame together, but not much at all. I think I'm even wasting my time rubbing them down, because they're not going to show up once they've been painted. Yeah, really impressed. No flashing whatsoever. A couple of tiny little bits where I've snipped them off the sprues, and that is about it. Tiny little bit of a sharp edge just round the edge of the seat. And I'll just take each one of them, I'll just smooth them off a little bit, just to make sure they get a good seal when I glue them onto the wheel. And again, that's just where I've cut it off with the sprue. So that's it, that's everything sanded down. I need to mask them, so I'll go do that now. We'll take them down for spraying. Okay, so let's get these two bits masked up. It's way too thick, that tape, so I think I'll cut it. So that goes just on that edge there. And it's so much easier if you leave a bit sticking up. So much easier to get off, I should say, if you leave a bit sticking up. There you go. That is it. Masked up. First off, I am going to paint the X1 parts, the black X1. Then I will paint there's quite a lot of parts of semi-gloss, so I'll paint them, and I'm going to try and do it at a different angle than I did the engine, because I noticed when I watched that back you had some very good shots of the back of my hand spraying the engine. So that's that. So I'll get on with that. I won't be talking because as always I'll be having a mask on. Right, so that's looking a bit messy at the moment, but let me just explain to you a bit of what I've been doing. So first off, been spray painting and hand painting bits and pieces. Just quickly go through all the bits. Obviously that was the seat. Painted some silver bits, done the brake discs there. Painted some of these silver, hand painted silver. I still need to touch up a bit, put a bit of black, think it's flat black or rubber black on the foot pegs, things like that, but I can do that as I go along. Loads of black bits, painted loads of black bits, a lot of them that are mixed between semi-gloss black and gloss black and flat black. And there's not, apart from the shine on the gloss black, there's not a lot of difference between any of them. And of course a couple more bits there. So I've done the frame. I'm going to be putting the engine into that. Done the clear parts, be putting them on later on. And of course there's another load of little bits that I've done in here. The front forks there. There's the seat I showed you before. The chain and sprocket. So that's semi-gloss black. That's, can't remember what silver that is, but that's some silver, and that is gunmetal grey, the chain. And I've also put a bit of black liner on that as well. So the wheels, really happy with the wheels. Just put them there, and I'll move some stuff out the way so you can see them. So there's a close-up on the wheels, really happy with them. So you have the front wheel, which is the larger of the wheels. Actually, I'll just see how close I can get onto that without it blurring. And so yeah, this is the larger wheel, which goes on the front. And the smaller wheel goes on the back. The larger front wheel was much easier to paint. I think it looks better as well. That's because all the sort of like ridges and that were a lot thicker, so the silver paint contrasts a lot more with the black. I just think it looks a lot better. Now the next bit, I'm putting the engine into the bike frame. So first off, I'm going to put a dab of glue in there, and I'm going to put a dab of glue in there. And this half of the bike frame goes like that. I'll put a dab on there. Now here's the hard bit, because there's got to be an easier way of doing this. Okay, how is that? Okay, so that was an absolute nightmare. One of those jobs where you stuck one part in and another part popped out and literally about 4 or 5 parts all popping out, all as you stick one in, 2 pops out, and you stick them 2 in and another 2 pop out. So anyway, that's that. I'm just going to leave that to dry now before I take any of them clamps off, and whilst I'm waiting for that, we'll start on the next part. Well, before I go, I'll just show you this. This is got the engine in the bike frame. Just show you that. Bits of vinyl piping everywhere. That's the bottom there. Sorry about the shadows. I've had to put the light on. It's got a bit dark in the room. There, that's it. That is the engine in the frame. So that's it for this one. Again, thank you very much for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one, which will be, this is number 3, so the next one will be number 4, I think. Okay, thank you, bye.